welcome to our live news coming to you from Abuja, the nation's capital. I'm Blessing Ogo. The headlines. New tax laws to take effect from January 2026. Households earning 250,000 naira or less monthly won't pay tax. Increased GDP growth, Minister Abubakar Bagudu. Now the news in details. The chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service (FIRS), Zak Adedeji, has disclosed that the newly signed tax laws will take effect from January 1st, 2026. Addressing the State House correspondents, he said it takes time for all the stakeholders, participants, operators, and even the regulator to change the system. While speaking to Mr. President, Adedeji said that a full 6 months will be used for both sensitization and planning, considering the government's fiscal year. Still in tax reforms, the chairman of the Presidential Committee on Fiscal Policy and Tax Reforms, Taiwo Oyedele, has stated that under the new tax laws, Nigerian households earning 250,000 naira or less per month are classified as poor and exempted from paying taxes. He said the objectives of the new law, which will take effect from January 2026, were not intended to increase taxes, but to stimulate economic activity in the country and track tax evaders. The Minister of Budget and Finance, Abubakar Bagudu, has said underinvestments of security, educational sectors, and others has appeared as cankerworm to the growth of the economy. He stated a significant increase of a 3% GDP growth since Mr. President Tinubu came on seat and advised more increased revenue proportions to harness the growth of the economy.
The renewed hope agenda is about confronting our reality. What is our reality? That reality is that of underinvestment. Historically, we have underinvested in numerous sectors. We don't have enough security as much as we want because we have underinvested in security. Our schools are not in the shape we want because we have underinvested. Our health sector, our agricultural sector. Why did we invest? Is it by choice? No. We are not as wealthy as we think we are. That's the blunt reality. Somebody needs to say this. What is the measure of that poverty? The government spending, Nigeria's government spending as a proportion of GDP, gross domestic, which is a common measure that is used, is one of the 3 lowest in the world as of May 29th, 2023. It's less than 11%. Many countries are at 42%. The revenue available to Nigerian government as of then, May 29th, 2023, when Mr. President was sworn in, was less than 9% as a proportion of GDP. In some European countries, it's up to 57%. So it goes without saying, when you have less revenue, you spend less, and therefore you can't meet your priorities.
The Senate Committee on Public Accounts has issued a 10-day ultimatum to the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited (NNPCL) Group Chief Executive Officer Bayo Ojulari to respond to 11 critical financial queries related to discrepancies in its audited financial statements, warning that failure to comply could attract serious constitutional consequences. The ultimatum, which will expire on July 10, comes after NNPCL formally requested a 2-month extension to respond to the queries on Thursday, a request the committee flatly rejected. Moving from legislation to judiciary, Justice Emeka Wite of the Federal High Court Abuja has declined a move by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) to cross-examine its third witness in the ongoing alleged money laundering case against the immediate past governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Bello. The judge said the argument of the Lands Council for the prosecution is misconceived. This Honorable Court is not shutting the prosecution from re-examining the witness, but it must restrict itself to pages 1, 14, and 15 of Exhibit 19. The prosecution is not allowed to re-examine the witness outside the pages prescribed. Governor Abdullahi Sule of Nasarawa State has rejected the allegation that some herdsmen who attacked Benue State always come in and escape from the state. Governor Sule refuted the claims that Nasarawa harbors criminals, saying that the state has fewer activities related to cattle rearing. The problem comes with the terminology of harboring. There is nothing like that, he said. President Bola Tinubu has declined to assent to the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency Bill 2025. The president's decision was contained in a letter read by the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajuddin Abbas, during plenary. The proposed law seeks to empower the NDLEA to retain a portion of the proceeds from drug-related crimes, a move Tinubu said contradicts existing financial regulations. In Tinubu's letter, he said under the current system, all proceeds of crime are paid into the government's confiscated and fortified properties account. And to the long-awaited judgment on Salome Adaidu, the High Court in Lafia, Nasarawa State, has sentenced Oluwatimileyin Ajayi, the suspected killer of a National Youth Service Corps member, Salome Adaidu, to death by hanging. Justice Simon Aboki, who handed down the judgment, found Ajayi guilty of killing and dismembering Adaidu. He had been charged with one count of culpable homicide contrary to Section 221 of the Penal Code of Northern Nigeria and punishable by death. Magazine legend Anna Wintour stepped down as editor of US Vogue on Thursday after 37 years, during which she was often hailed as the single most influential figure in the fashion world. Wintour, 75, was famous for making Vogue's front covers an authoritative statement on contemporary fashion and for total control over the glamorous pages inside. Wintour came to wider public renown as the inspiration for The Devil Wears Prada, a hit 2003 novel and 2006 movie, for which Meryl Streep earned an Oscar nomination for her role as Absolute magazine editor, Miranda Priestley. Kylian Mbappe has accused his former club, Paris Saint-Germain, of moral harassment in a legal filing. The Paris prosecutor's office told AFP as it confirmed an investigation had been opened. France captain Mbappe is also embroiled in a court battle with PSG to obtain the €55 million, $64.4 million in unpaid wages and bonuses he says the club owes him. Mbappe's latest grievance is related to the way he was treated by PSG at the start of the 2023-24 season. When he was made to train with players the club were trying to offload. He believes he was sidelined by the club after refusing to agree to a new contract, a practice which has also affected other footballers and prompted the French Players' Union to complain last year. And on the foreign scene, young self-declared socialist Zoran Madani was on the cusp of a stunning victory in New York City's Democratic mayoral primary, pummeling his scandal-scared establishment rival in a race seen as a fight for the future of the Democratic Party. Results were not yet final, but Madani, who is just 33 and would become the city's first Muslim mayor, displayed a commanding lead that his biggest rival, former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, conceded defeat overnight. Commenting on the primary result in his former hometown, Trump lashed out at Madani and a 100% communist lunatic, adding the Democrats had crossed the line by choosing him. For more news, follow us on all social media platforms and live television. We've come to the end of the news. Thank you for listening. This is Alive News. My name is Blessing Owo.